I'm stuck at 100 kilograms. Why can't I lose weight? That's what a mate of mine said to me at the gym. And in this video, I'll tell you exactly what I would do to fix this situation. If you're wanting to lose 5, 10, even 20 kilograms, by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to get started today. These are some of the nuggets that I used in my own journey when I dropped 18 pounds in just 10 weeks and finally got the visible abs that I wanted, whilst getting stronger in the gym as well. And I've managed to stay lean ever since, and I've been consistent with the gym for the past 2.5 years, which before would have been unthinkable. So the first point I want to make is that if you're stuck, then what you're doing now is probably not working. And if you think you're doing all the right things but not getting the results, chances are you're not doing the right things. And I see it all the time with people trying to get in shape. And if you can't first accept that things aren't working, then you can't begin to address the problem and start making the progress that you want. So here's exactly what I did, so you can just copy me. And just as a side note, if you do want an exact system to follow, then I have over 5.5 hours of videos laying out the exact step-by-step on how to get shredded and achieve that Fight Club physique. The link's in the description. So the first question I asked my mate who was stuck at 100 kilograms was, how often are you weighing yourself? And he replied to me saying, well, not very often, every now and again. And to me, this is like a business trying to make profit, but not tracking their profit. Or scientists doing experiments without tracking any of the data. If you're trying to lose weight, then you should track weight. It seems really simple, but this is something that so many people miss. So my advice to him, and it's what finally transformed my progress, was weighing myself every single day. It takes 2 minutes every morning. Scales are super cheap. You can literally pick some up for 10 or 20 bucks. Just make a note of your different weigh-ins every day, either through the notes in your iPhone or through Google Sheets like I do, and just aim for a 1% drop in total body weight per week. And that's really it. Don't be one of these people who come into the gym to weigh themselves. It might be like after work, they've got, a jumper and tracksuits on, and it's never going to be consistent because you've eaten through the day, you've drank. So just weigh yourself first thing every morning, fasted, before you've eaten anything. Wear the same amount of clothes, jewelry, whatever. Just keep it as consistent as possible, and then you'll be able to compare the data more accurately. So that's point number 2, is weighing yourself every day. And point number 3 is that we want to first remove and then add. Trying to lose fat without first cutting out your bad habits is like trying to sculpt a statue without first chiseling away all the excess rock. You don't start by adding the details. You start by first removing what doesn't belong and what's holding you back. And once you've stripped out all the unnecessary, you can start to finally carve something great. And point number 4 is that we want to start small. Now, it's no secret that fat loss is 90% nutrition. That's going to be the biggest needle mover. So that's where we should focus all of our attention, in my opinion. So what are these small changes we can make to our nutrition that are going to make the biggest difference? Well, step 1 I recommend is fasting for the first 4 hours of the day, at least. Now, if you've never done any form of intermittent fasting before, this might be a struggle at the start, but I have 2 tips that will make it effortless. The first is drinking sparkling water. Around 750 milliliters is the sweet spot for me. Why sparkling? Well, a lot of people aren't a fan of it, which is fair enough, but I personally find sparkling water more filling than still water. And honestly, once you drink enough of it, you get used to it and you start to actually enjoy it. Second tip to make the fast as easy as possible is to utilize caffeine. So I personally don't drink coffee, but if I did, I would have black coffee, maybe a couple in the morning during this 4 hours, but ideally 90 minutes after waking up. I personally have caffeine tablets. Each tablet has about 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. Anywhere from like 2 to 4 of them will be absolutely fine. Caffeine really helps to blunt your hunger and give you that energy that you're missing out by not eating. So once you've nailed your fasting and it's become easier, then we can focus on the first meal of the day, which is obviously breakfast. And that's the meal that you break your fast with. That's where the word breakfast comes from. It doesn't mean having a meal as soon as you wake up. And there are 3 really important points when it comes to having a great breakfast. First of all, is at least 30 grams of protein. This will help to build the muscle whilst you're at the gym, and it's also quite filling as well. Second is that you actually enjoy what you eat, because there's such a misconception about people getting in shape that they eat meals that they don't like. They just have these really bland salads or smoothies, but no one I know who is in shape eats foods that they don't like. They're able to stick to it because they enjoy the food that they're having. So make sure it's actually a breakfast that you look forward to every morning. And third is to make it as easy as possible. Make it super convenient. So the less cooking, washing up, prep, the better. And it just makes it so much easier to stick to, which is where a lot of people trip up. Is, they start these habits to try and lose weight, but they just can't stick to them. So I'll give you 2 examples of these kinds of breakfasts that really work for me. When I was at home, it would usually be some kind of omelette, usually like 4 to 6 eggs with cheese. I'd have like black beans or spinach with it as well. I don't eat those anymore, so I just have, you can have with cheese or ham. You can just customize it however you like and that you look forward to. If you work at an office or at a building site or something and you need to take lunch in, my go-to was usually around 500 grams of some kind of like Greek yogurt, and I'll just add berries and honey, and that would usually be pretty filling. It'd be at least like 40 to 60 grams of protein. If you added a scoop of protein, which I sometimes did, if you're struggling to get enough protein in, then you can add a scoop of protein, just mix it all up, and it tastes amazing. I look forward to it every time. And step 3 for starting small with nutrition is just repeating that for meal 2 and meal 3 if you have it. When I'm trying to lean down, I personally find it easier just to have 2 meals a day. But if you personally prefer having more, then just do whatever suits you best. For me, the way I saw it was the first meal of the day was basically to get me through to meal 2. And then I had so many calories left for the rest of the day, and I'd just have a feast and I would never go to bed hungry. So if your goal is to achieve a physique similar to this, then you can check out the first link in the description. There's an entire course with absolutely everything I know that I've learned in my past few years when it comes to nutrition, training and mindset and all that other good stuff that finally helped me achieve those visible abs and be able to stay lean all year round with ease whilst eating foods I love. So check it out. It's the first thing in the description, and I'll see you there.